It was a beautiful morning in the spring. I was in my garden. The flowers scented the environment so beautifully that it seemed as if one was standing in a paradise. The honey bees dancing from one flower to another added to the beauty of the garden. I had recently shifted to this house and it was no less than a dream place. The neighbors were also very welcoming. I asked myself what could be a more beautiful place than this to say home. The next morning I woke up and watered the plants. Children from the neighborhood came and asked to play in the garden. I allowed them to have a good time there. While they were playing, I noticed strange energy in the garden. It felt like someone was watching us, but I just overlooked it. But as days turned into weeks, I couldn't neglect the fact that something was wrong with this place. At night when I was sleeping, I heard the loud rustling of the leaves in the garden. I became excited that it must be wind and the weather was getting stormy out there. But when I reached the garden, I noticed that the weather was normal. The rustling was not due to wind. Suddenly, the swing in the garden started to move very fast. That scene took my breath out of my lungs. I immediately went into my room. I said to myself it was not real. It was just my misconception as I was so much tired after my hectic office routine. Tomorrow, I received a call from my friend. He told me that her daughter was insisting on visiting my place. I immediately said why not. John and her daughter Freya reached my house in the evening. Luckily, the evening was very beautiful and it added to the beauty of my garden. Freya started to play in the garden. She said that she had never seen such a beautiful garden in her entire life. After that, we went into the house and had dinner together. But as the clock chimed at midnight, the environment started to become extremely terrifying. While I was in my room, I again heard the noise of the swing. I got up and went into the garden, but this time everything was calm. I laughed and said to myself, see, it was just my misconception. But when I was getting out of the garden, a branch of the tree reached towards me and encircled my neck so hard that it almost killed me. I tried to remove it, but all in vain. I tried to scream, but the branch seemed to be the death chain. I was about to suffocate to death, but somehow the branch left me and I fell on the ground. I immediately ran towards my room. I said to myself that it's not more of a misconception. Something is not right with this garden. I was shivering with fear. I had no idea what to do. I thought that I should tell John, but I thought that he was with her little daughter and she will be frightened. Tomorrow when they will leave, I will do something of it. While I was struggling with my thoughts, I heard Freya scream. I and John immediately ran out, and what we saw shook our bodies with fear. We saw that the rope of the swing had clutched Freya's neck, and she was about to die. We ran and tried to save Freya's life. Suddenly, a blow of wind came and pushed us out of the garden. We were watching Freya struggling with her life in front of us. I took out a knife and cut the rope. Freya fell to the ground. John took Freya and went inside the house. While I was running back to the house, I stumbled and fell on the ground. When I saw below, there was something hard on the ground. I removed the grass and I was shocked to see it was a grave. I realized that this garden was a graveyard once and these strange occurrences were now making sense. I stood up so that I could run from this hell. I saw that the branches of the trees were reaching towards me as if they were some demon nails, and in the tree it was written, "I will kill you all." I immediately ran to save my life. I took out my car. John and Freya sat in the car, and we rushed out of that death pit. I mourned my decision to buy that house. Freya was still unconscious, and our bodies were also shivering. This incident would surely take our breath from our chest whenever we think about it.